Coral reefs. A city under the sea. A coral reef is like a colorful city under the sea. Plants and animals work together in this underwater ecosystem. Let's dive into life on a coral reef. What is coral? Corals look like plants, but they are really animals made up of tiny coral polyps. This is a little coral polyp. Corals are related to jellyfish. Coral polyps divide to make more polyps, forming colonies. This is what a hard coral polyp looks like. These are the tentacles. Coral polyps sting plankton and other tiny animals with their tentacles, and then they eat them. It goes right in here in the mouth. Food enters through the mouth. The mouth is also where waste leaves coral. And this is the stomach. Reef builders. More than 700 kinds of hard corals help build coral reefs. Hard coral polyps make limestone skeletons. The skeletons make up most of a reef, and living corals grow on top of the skeletons. Algae. Algae help build coral reefs. These plants help glue the reef together. Some algae live inside hard corals, and they help feed the corals. When water temperatures rise, hard corals can lose their helper algae. Algae give hard corals their color, and without algae, corals lose their color. Some corals may even die. How coral reefs form. Strong ocean storms can break off pieces of a coral colony. These pieces are carried away. Coral larvae float through the ocean and they attach to something hard and then begin to grow. They may grow in new places, and new coral reefs also form in other ways. Where coral reefs grow. Most coral reefs grow in warm, shallow ocean water. Some reefs grow along the shore, and others grow away from land. Corals need warm temperatures to grow. There are different kinds of coral reefs. Coral reefs are named for where they grow. Fringing reefs. And a fringing reef grows close to the shore. It is usually the smallest kind of reef. You see right there next to the shore. The shore is where the sand is. Barrier reefs. A barrier reef grows away from the shore, and a lagoon sits between a barrier reef and the shore. I have to tell you guys, when I was in the Philippines, I went swimming in a lagoon, and lagoons are the best thing ever created. Look, this is the barrier reef. Australia's Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest system of coral reefs. It stretches for 1,400 miles. Wow. Oh, this is called an atoll. An atoll is a coral reef in the shape of a ring. A lagoon sits in the middle of an atoll. See, here it is. Whoop. How they form. Most atolls begin as a fringing reef. Wrapped around an island, the island slowly sinks under the ocean's surface. The fringing reef becomes a barrier. The barrier reef becomes an atoll, and once the island disappears underwater, a lagoon forms in place of the island. Oh, how interesting. New islands sometimes form on top of atolls. Plants and coral reefs. Mangrove trees and seagrass beds grow near coral reefs. These plants help clean the water near the reefs. They also give reef animals places to hide. Mangrove tree roots hold down mud and keep it from choking on the coral reef. Right here. Can you see the pictures? Many reef fish hatch in mangrove roots and seagrass beds. The young fish stay safely hidden while they grow. Coral reef feeders. This is called a yellow tube sponge. Many ocean creatures find food and homes in a coral reef. They eat the corals, algae, and other animals that grow on the reef. Many kinds of sponge, like this one, yellow tube sponge, live on coral reefs. The yellow tube sponge pumps water through the walls of its body. This animal cleans the water by eating bacteria and tiny bits of floating food. Crown of thorns starfish eat coral polyps. Too many of these starfish on one reef can kill the reef because they eat all the polyps. Sea slugs. Sea slugs have a ribbon of teeth on their undersides. As they crawl along the reef, the teeth scrape off the food. The long-nosed filefish plucks off coral polyps with its pointed mouth. And the blue parrotfish sharp beak scrapes algae from the reef. Ooh. Look at it smile. Coral reef hunters. Jump! Coral reef hunters eat animals that feed on the reef. Look at that. Stonefish have lumpy bodies that look like stones. They blend in with the reef, and when fish swim by, the stonefish gobble them up. Moray eels hide in reef cracks and wait for fish. The fish don't spot them until it's too late. Hawksbill sea turtle eat coral reef sponges. And cuttlefish are related to squid and octopus. Cuttlefish change colors to match the reef they hide from. They camouflage. Gray reef sharks often swim near coral reefs. They hunt the hunters. They eat fish, squid, shrimp, and lobsters. Working together. Some animals work together on a coral reef. They keep each other safe and clean. They might even share a home. Shrimp and goby fish live together on the reef. The shrimp digs a burrow and the goby guards their shared home. See? Oh, look, it's Nemo. Clownfish live in animals called sea anemones. Clownfish fight other fish that try to eat the anemone. The anemone tentacles sting the predators. Special slime covers a clownfish's body and protects it from anemone stings. Cleaner wrasse fish eat parasites off the bodies of fish. Cleaner wrasse even remove unwanted guests from fish's mouths. How interesting. Why we need coral reefs. Coral reefs provide food and homes for many ocean animals. Reef animals feed millions of people. Coral reefs keep people and coasts safe by slowing down strong ocean waves. You can help save coral reefs. If you visit a coral reef, do not touch it and take photos of it instead. Scientists find new kinds of coral reef plants and animals every day. They still have much to learn about these important underwater ecosystems. Ooh, and then at the end of the book, there's lots of different words that you can learn that we talked about. The end.